Have you ever considered how political unrest could impact your everyday life? It's a sobering thought, isn't it? But understanding political unrest, its causes and signs, is the first step towards effective preparation. So let's dive in. Political unrest is a broad term that refers to a state of discord or upheaval within a society, often sparked by dissatisfaction with the government, social inequality, or economic instability. It can manifest in various ways, from peaceful protests to violent conflicts. The key is that it disrupts the established order, and in doing so, can significantly impact our daily lives. The causes of political unrest are as diverse as its manifestations. They can include issues like corruption, economic hardship, social inequality, or political repression. Often, it's an accumulation of these factors that triggers unrest. For instance, a government's failure to address economic hardships might fuel discontent, leading to protests or strikes. History is ripe with examples of political unrest and their wide-ranging impacts. The French Revolution in the late 18th century, spurred by social and economic inequality, led to widespread violence and ultimately the overthrow of the monarchy. More recently, the Arab Spring that began in Tunisia in late 2010 saw a wave of protests, uprisings, and armed rebellions ripple across the Arab world, leading to political change in several countries. Spotting the signs of impending political unrest can be tricky, but there are a few key indicators to watch out for. Escalating protests, increasing polarization, governmental instability, and rising social tensions can all signal that unrest is on the horizon. Now, it's important to remember, understanding political unrest isn't about fear-mongering or spreading doom and gloom. It's about being informed, aware, and prepared. This knowledge can help us navigate through turbulent times, ensuring our safety and well-being. Understanding political unrest, its causes and signs, is the first step towards effective preparation. Now that we understand what political unrest is, how might it affect you personally? To start, consider your location. Are you in a bustling city, a quiet suburb, or a remote rural area? Each has its peculiar risks and advantages. Urban areas might be hotspots for protests and violence, while rural locations may face challenges like limited resources or access to information. Next, think about your socioeconomic status. Wealthier individuals might have more means to secure their safety, but they can also become targets. On the other hand, those with fewer resources may face heightened challenges, but could also have stronger community ties. Finally, community dynamics play a significant role. Consider the relationships within your neighborhood, town, or city. Are there divisions that could escalate in times of political unrest? Or is there a sense of unity that could provide mutual support? Remember, no situation is perfect, but understanding your unique circumstances can guide your preparations. Assessing your situation provides a valuable foundation for your preparation efforts. So, how can you prepare for potential political unrest? Well, let's dive right in. First, consider your emergency kits. It's crucial to have essentials such as food and water. Think long shelf-life items, maybe canned goods or freeze-dried meals. As for water, you'll want to store enough to last each person in your household at least 3 days. But don't forget about purification tablets or filters in case the situation extends beyond that. Next, we have first aid supplies. A well-stocked first aid kit can be a lifesaver, literally. Make sure you've got bandages, antiseptics, pain relievers, and any prescription medications needed. Knowledge on how to use these items effectively is just as important, so consider taking a basic first aid course if you haven't yet. Communication devices are another key component of your emergency kit. A battery-powered or hand-cranked radio can keep you connected to the outside world. Also, consider a sturdy, reliable cell phone with emergency numbers pre-programmed. But preparation doesn't stop with emergency kits. Your home is your fortress, so let's talk home security measures. Reinforcing entry points, installing a reliable security system, and having a well-thought-out defense strategy are all crucial steps in ensuring your home remains your safe haven. Now let's touch on financial preparedness. In times of political unrest, cash is king. Banks may close and ATMs could run dry. Having a cash reserve on hand could be a lifeline in these situations. But don't overlook the power of bartering. Items like batteries, canned goods, or toilet paper could become valuable trade commodities. And of course, it's also vital to have a plan in place to protect your assets, such as property and investments, from potential harm. These essential preparations can help you weather the storm of political unrest. And remember, the goal isn't to incite fear, but to promote preparedness. Because when you're prepared, You can face any challenge with confidence and poise. Beyond material preparations, what skills and relationships should you cultivate? Well, let's dive right into that. Firstly, self-defense training. It's not just about fending off foes. It's about building confidence, staying fit, and developing discipline. You don't need to become a martial arts master overnight. Start with some basic techniques and gradually advance. Remember, the goal is to avoid conflict, but when it's unavoidable, you'll be ready. Next, let's talk medical skills. In a situation of political unrest, traditional health services may not always be readily accessible. Basic first aid knowledge could be a lifesaver. Learn how to treat minor wounds, burns, and fractures. Understand how to perform CPR. This knowledge isn't just for you. It could help your family, your friends, your neighbors. Now, wilderness survival techniques may seem a bit too far out for some, but they're a valuable set of skills. Learning to start a fire, build a shelter, or find water might sound primitive, but in extreme circumstances, they could be your lifeline. Again, it's not about becoming Bear Grylls overnight, but about steadily building your skill set. But survival isn't just about individual skills, it's about community. This is where community building comes into play. Form alliances with like-minded people in your neighborhood. Establish communication networks to share information and resources, and don't forget about mutual aid. Develop systems where you can support each other in times of need. Remember, there's strength in numbers. In times of political unrest, it's easy to focus on the threats and dangers, but let's remember the opportunities as well. The opportunity to learn new skills, the opportunity to build stronger communities, the opportunity to become more resilient, more self-sufficient, and more connected. Building survival skills and community connections can significantly enhance your resilience in times of political unrest. Preparation isn't just about physical survival. How can you prepare mentally and emotionally, and how can you stay informed? Navigating through periods of political unrest can be emotionally taxing and mentally draining. To safeguard your mental health, it's important to develop stress management techniques. These can be as simple as deep breathing exercises, yoga, or even just taking a walk outside to clear your mind. Remember, maintaining a healthy mindset is just as important as any other survival skill. But resilience goes beyond just managing stress. It involves developing the mental toughness to withstand and recover quickly from difficult conditions. This might mean practicing mindfulness, working on problem-solving skills, or cultivating a positive mindset. Remember, resilience isn't something you're either born with or without. It's a skill that you can develop over time. In times of crisis, psychological first aid becomes a valuable tool. This involves providing humane, supportive, and practical help to fellow humans who are suffering and who may need support. It's about listening, offering comfort, and helping people connect with resources for further support. Now let's talk about staying informed. In an era of information overload, it's crucial to discern between reliable information and misinformation. This involves developing your critical thinking skills. Ask questions, cross-verify information from multiple sources, and don't take anything at face value. News updates can provide you with useful information about what's happening in your area. Tune in to reliable news sources, but also consider alternative channels like community networks, social media platforms, and direct information from local authorities. Lastly, creating your own information channels can be a valuable asset. This could mean establishing a network of trusted contacts who can provide you with updates, or setting up a system to disseminate information within your community. Mental and emotional preparedness, along with staying informed, are crucial aspects of preparing for political unrest. To wrap up, let's recap the key points we've discussed today. We started off by understanding political unrest, its causes, and signs to look out for. We then assessed our personal situations, considering our location, risks, and community. Next, we delved into the nitty-gritty of essential preparations, from stocking up on emergency kits and securing our homes to being financially prepared for any eventuality. We also touched on the importance of survival skills, including self-defense and medical training, as well as wilderness survival techniques. Community building came next, emphasizing the power of alliances, communication networks, and mutual support systems. Lastly, we addressed the mental and emotional aspects of preparedness, discussing stress management, resilience building, and psychological first aid. In these uncertain times, staying informed and developing critical thinking skills are paramount. Remember, the best time to prepare for political unrest is before it happens. So, start today and encourage others to do the same.